Three questions. First, you don't expect inflation rate to be close to 2% at least 2023. 3 years without fulfilling your mandate, and by the way, many more years without fulfilling it until now. Why don't you take more measures just now? Second, as you state, ECB is currently carrying out a strategic review. Are you looking at accountability aspects? What do you think about the revision of the mandate of the Federal Reserve in the States? And finally, last week, ECB defended a permanent version of the Recovery and Resilience Facility. Explain us your opinion about this possibility. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much for your questions. First of all, again, I would observe that all the tools that we've used in our monetary policy toolbox, starting with extremely low interest rates. I remind you that the DFR is at minus 50 basis points, that the asset purchase program was ongoing, and that we have added to that two major tools, if you will, TLTRO, in order to make sure that liquidity flew to the economy via the banking intermediation, and second, our asset purchase that was intended both for stabilization purposes and for monetary stance. And I think that on using all these tools in the toolbox, plus the collateral review that we conducted in order to enlarge the volume of collaterals that could be taken up, I think that we have had a very significant impact on the economic situation, on the credit situation, as well as on the risk of fragmentation. So clearly we are far away from the goal that we have, which is close to but below 2%, and we are not complacent about it. We have demonstrated that when it comes to recalibrating our instruments and changing its focus, increasing its size, we are always prepared to do so in order to deliver on our mandate. But clearly what we have done so far has been extremely, as I said, targeted, indeed temporary when it comes to PEP, proportionate, and we will continue to be very attentive to all the information that comes in a more reliable and solid way in the weeks to come in order to define what we do going forward. On our strategy review, we started just pre-pandemic, and we managed to conduct one key session that was a stock-taking exercise. And unfortunately, as the Fed did actually, we suspended the review and we just resumed about 2 weeks ago. And we will continue this process until completion, which is scheduled for September of 2020. That started way back and earlier than we had, and came with a conclusion which has been communicated by the chair of the Fed in Jackson Hole in a speech that he gave at the time, which has been further clarified in the latest monetary policy decision that was rendered, and which clearly refocuses on the second of the two mandates that is pursued by the Fed, which is the employment, which is now defined in a slightly different way and in an asymmetric way. Now, clearly, we've taken that to the communications that surrounds this new determination, and it will be one of the elements that we will take into consideration in our own strategy review as we develop it. It's interesting to note, actually, that the forward guidance that has been in place at the ECB has very much been inserted into the Fed's new monetary policy, not verbatim, but very much to the same effect. So there is an element of borrowing from each other, and clearly the Fed has demonstrated that when it comes to forward guidance. The paper that you referred to, which was published last week by the economic bulletin of the ECB, if I recall, indicates that we clearly support the Recovery and Resilience Fund and the overall new generation EU package that was adopted by the European Council back earlier in the summer. And we believe that it has been a very strong component to restore the confidence in the European Union. And we believe that it's a political determination that was expressed in no uncertain terms, and that is demonstrating that the Europeans can actually decide to jointly borrow, to allocate funding between grants and loans in order to first of all, stabilize, and second, transform the European economy. And we've also noted in the past, and we keep noting, that joint fiscal approach is indeed very helpful and very needed in order to complement a monetary union. Thank you.